said, I'm Donna Cook. I am the team lead for RPIW number 10. This is the standard work combination sheet for which this team will report out to today. Next, you'll see a team photo. We are called the glowing, radiation makes you glow, guys and gals, or 3G, and that's our wonderful team up there. You'll now see our project form, and I just want to tell you that the project name was to reduce, and the theme was to reduce the lead time for inpatients and ER patients from the time the requisition to the service provided, and that the image was ready for viewing or reading on the PACS system in diagnostic imaging for CT, X-ray, and ultrasound. So we did look at all three modalities when we started our pre-work, but we ended up focusing mainly on the X-ray technician. So you will see a lot of our post-Kaizen papers showing the X-ray technician. The rest of this project form I'm not going to speak to because we will go over why we did what we did, the current situation. It comes out in our starburst, and our data comes out in what we're going to tell you about. So next you'll see our target progress report and results sheet. So this first line, the baseline, was where we started from. So looking at space, inventory, and part travel was all around the linen room. Our walking distance was around the X-ray technician, and then our defects. We really did want to highlight the defects that we were finding in requisitions coming to the department with either wrong patient information or wrong body part ordered. So that was where we were focusing a lot of our work. The second sheet will just highlight our 5S work. We started at a 1.3, and the team will tell you what happened after that. This was our TAC time sheet, and as I told you, we started the work. We did observations around CT, X-ray, and ultrasound. But again, focusing on X-ray, their TAC time was 26.1 minutes.
So what you're seeing in front of you is our pre-Kaizen value stream map, and if you look in the middle value stream, that is the X-ray for the patient, and so these are patients who were either in the emergency room or were inpatients. And what you can see is we started from when the patient arrived in DI and ended when the patient returned to the emergency room or to inpatients. The total lead time for this process was 15 minutes and 59 seconds, and the cycle time was 1 minute and 51 seconds. The lower value stream shows the X-ray tech, again with inpatients and emergency room. And what you see is the start of the process where the tech checks for the requisition, either on the computer or in the basket, through prepping the patient, taking the image, and completing the image. This lead time was 15 minutes and 47 seconds. And the cycle time was 11 minutes and 38 seconds. The next picture is when we did our Muda walk at the beginning of the Kaizen on the Monday. This just shows our waste wheel, and we've themed it into different areas. And you will note there are tons and tons of stickers. We had so many ideas from the DI staff and also from our own RPIW team. The next picture is the idea summary sheets, and these are sheets from diagnostic imaging staff and also our RPIW team, and we just had loads of awesome sheets and excellent drawing on those sheets.
I'm Kelly Zaverschuk, and I'm an X-ray tech here at the NIC, and I'm a participant in this RPIW. One of the things that was identified as a significant problem in the prep work for this process was that there is documented by incident reports the need for improvement in identifying our patients and what we're doing to them from the CAS clinic particularly. So what we were able to do this week from that was to come up with a visual control that we could give to them in the CAS clinic so that when they have their patient there, they are now required to check with the patient what their name is, what their birth date is, and what it is that they're having examined. That then follows through to when they arrive at the X-ray department. That is being done in our department when they come to reception, and then a third time time when they go into the room with the x-ray tech to remove any defect from that system so that we don't cause any harm to any of our patients and do what we shouldn't do.
Good afternoon, my name is Lisa Stone. I'm a worker in the emergency department and I'm a participant in the RPIW. So some of the defects that we have are missing information as well as a phone call to the diagnostic department. So we handed out a visual control requisition to each department to show what information is very important on these recs, as well as the importance of how the requisition is faxed so that the information is legible when it reaches the X-ray department. So with this, that should decrease delays and wait times for our patients. With that being said, we handed out a standard work form. Actually, this one is on top of the fax machine. In the ER department, they put a visual control to help people to remember to fax the correct way so that the information gets to the department. With that said, we handed out standard work to all departments that send requisitions to the diagnostic imaging departments.
Hello, I'm Ellen Gorzlik, and I'm considered a contact expert with RPIW as I work primarily night shifts in diagnostic imaging. In some of the pre-work that the gals did to prepare for the RPIW, they noted that patient contact surfaces were not being sanitized prior to the next patient being x-rayed. So in our defects and safety group, we developed standard work for the x-ray technicians relating to infection control so that that work is followed between each patient being x-rayed.
Good afternoon, my name is Paul Ross. I'm with Health Inspection 1521, and I'm also doing participant in my media training. Here we have a time observation form, and this illustrates the processes requisition when it's begin to be faxed from the department or ward until it is scanned into the fax system. So we had a lead time which was averaged out to 15 minutes 47 seconds. The process with a cycle time of 11 minutes and 38 seconds. On the standard work combination sheet, just illustrates the processes with the 11-minute 38-second time and the takt time of 26.1. The percent load chart or the bar chart is fairly simple in that it shows the sum of the cycle times divided by the takt time, which is 0.4, and with the cycle time illustrated at 11.38 on the average. This last spaghetti diagram here, the first one is the pre-Kaizen, and the dark area is the black color, shows the x-ray technician and the steps that they're taking. The main dark one going kind of north-south to the middle there is the actual route that the technician is taking, technologist, I'm sorry, when they're checking for requisitions for each requisition, which is about 27 feet each time.
Good afternoon. My name is Carol Bell, and I work as a unit clerk in diagnostic imaging. And I am a participant in the RPIW number 10, also known as the glowing guys and gals. We identified that patients were waiting in the DI department after completion of their test was a real area for improvement. We worked together with other departments and we came to a collaborative approach for patients to return to their rooms. With this, we developed a standard work list and visual aids for the x-ray technicians and the porters. As a result, this will eliminate the patients waiting in the hallways and will get them back to their rooms where they will receive nursing care.
Hi, my name is Roger Rasmussen. I am one of the ER porters. I'm a participant of the RPIW. I am one of the people who work on the porter work standard forms. This is a porter daily duties. We made a checklist or a standard work list for the porters to follow. As a result of our work, there will be less time waiting for the patients and the porters' other duties will be corrected.
In our post-Kaizen time observation forms, The comparison on the requisition process, our lead time was changed to 7 minutes and with a cycle time of 3 minutes 29 seconds. The standard work combination sheet in the post-Kaizen, the process cycles illustrate the 3-minute 31 time with the same task time of 26.1. In the percent load bar chart, you'll see the sum of the cycle times divided by the takt time is 0.12. And so that's a reduction from the pre-Kaizen of 11.52 to a 3.29 cycle time. Our last spaghetti diagram is just a dot because we've eliminated the requisition checking for the X-ray tech so that they'll be checking their computer screen rather than marching up to the desk in the front. So they will have a 0-foot drop.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. I'm the happy volunteer from the volunteer department, and this time I play the role of patient rep. First of all, my congratulations to all the participants of the RPIW number 10. A challenging job, well done. I was involved in a team of 3 participants to 5S. Meaning we were sorting, sweeping, simplifying, standardizing, etc. the linen room by the X-ray department. The place was overcrowded for space, very overstocked for supplies, and the various diagnostic imaging departments all come to get their linen supplies here. That means we tried to place it all. The bookcase used to store linens was removed. The chest of drawer cabinet was also removed to another location. And we felt having a linen cot instead of a shelving unit on the wall was also more practical. The request for the linen cart was made and approved. And on Thursday, we put the new method into action, and this was the result. The change rooms were also very overstocked, and to meet the inspection control guidelines, we removed all gowns and housecoats from the ultrasound, CT scan, and X-ray change rooms, and the staff now obtain these items from the linen room or the hallway cabinet. Excess items previously stored on the floor or the hallway by the linen room were removed and redirected to applicable departments, thus eliminating clutter and having a much better look.
Hello, my name is Janelle Sigvison. I'm a licensed practical nurse on the medical palliative floor. Due to the fact that having linen in the change rooms is an infection control hazard, we put a chest of drawers in the area of CT and ultrasound, and in turn made a standard of work. As previous, the staff was transporting linen from carts, shelving, and linen room. We were able to change this and avoid extra transportation, and just to get a full linen cart that is wheeled directly into the linen room. As a result, there is a standard of work produced.
Good afternoon, my name is Linda Sims. I'm the Director of Home Care for the region, and I'm also in the leadership training. I acted as a participant in this particular RPIW, and I'm talking to the post-5S evaluation. During the 5S of the linen room, we had wall shelving removed, a freestanding bookshelf removed, a small broken chest of drawers, and other assorted items such as obsolete boxes full of X-ray film. After we did that, we gained a 25% improvement in space. By decreasing the linen supply order, we gained a 33% improvement in linen costs.
The expectation is that this gain will improve as standard work is developed for ordering, and that the linen order is adjusted to actual need. Linen was removed from the change rooms, as others have said, to adhere to infection control standards. Therefore, a supply of linen needed to be relocated near the CAT scan and ultrasound rooms. This resulted in 60 feet less for staff to travel to retrieve linen from the linen room between each patient. Our evaluation before 5S was 1.3. After the 5S, it was 2.8, a 38% improvement, and which we were a little bit disappointed with, but Sensei says there's always room for continual improvement.
So I didn't introduce myself. I'm Pastor. I'm the sub-team lead for this RPIW. What you see in front of you is the post-Kaizen value stream. Our total lead time was 7 minutes, and our cycle time was 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Our previous lead time was 15 minutes and 47 seconds. During this RPIW, we did a ton of standard work. We actually developed 10 pieces of standard work, and we all know what goes along with standard work. It's multi-skills training. And so along with the standard work and work standards that were developed, we know there's going to be a lot of training to be done, and we know we're going to have to rely on many managers to do training throughout the hospital and in diagnostic imaging for us. So this is our target progress report. I'm just going to highlight a couple of items on here. So this is post-Kaizen. If you look at the lower row there where it says quality, we measured the defects in our requisitions coming into diagnostic imaging pre-Kaizen, and we had a defect rate of 78%. We wrote standard work, and then for 2 days implemented the new standard work, and what we found was our error rate was 60%, which is improvement of 24%. And that's quite fantastic considering we only had the new standard work for 2 days. The second metric I'd like to talk about is our setup time. That's in the middle of, or third from the bottom. My banner is pointing to it for me. And so our time was 6 minutes and 41 seconds, and the reason for that is we had to unload that laundry cart every time it came onto the shelves. And post-Kaizen, after we implemented the cart exchange, the time was only 26 seconds. So that's a huge savings, and the savings is because we didn't need to unload the cart. That was just the amount of time to push the cart into the room. What you're seeing now is our newspaper, and I'm just going to highlight a couple of areas on our newspaper. One of our issues was that staff who work at night are sometimes afraid. So what our recommendation is that security monitors and does rounds more often in the diagnostic and imaging department when people are working alone. And that also, if there are aggressive patients or altered patients, that the security guard or commissioner actually accompanies that patient to diagnostic imaging so they're not by themselves. We also had one other area that we felt was important. Our ultrasound tech had to do a lot of walking to finish her work, and so what we're doing is we are going to establish a workstation.
All right, so some of our lessons learned are displayed here, and I won't read all of them. I'll just summarize it quickly. Communication is so key. When people understand that the change is a benefit, then there's a lot less resistance to making those changes or improvements. When doing 5S, really important to involve the whole department because they're the ones that use the space, so important to have them in there. We realized that we were a team made up of 3 generations, and somehow that worked really well, so thank you, thank you. When standard work is followed, everyone is happy, and managers, we realized that they really do prioritize patient care first, and they're willing to share their resources, so thank you so much to our managers. And change is never easy, but keep an open mind. This is our long list of thank yous. We really want to thank everyone in ambulatory care, Wanda from Laundry Services, all the NUMs, so the nursing unit managers, Sonia Jan for volunteer services, all the porters who helped in a simulation, our process owner, Young Lai, and our sponsor, John Piggott, our maintenance department, all of the staff in diagnostic imaging who put up with us, interrupting them, standing in their way, Roxanne Black for a Word document, Rosa Stewart for coffee and dainties over at 206. A huge thank you to this team. They were so wonderful and so helpful all week, and they kept coming back every day, so thank you. And a special thank you to, of course, our patient representative, who, as mentioned right at the start, without the patient's input, we wouldn't know how to make these important changes for them. So thank you, Tina, Marcy, and Chris, who's not here today. And of course, thank you, Sensei, and Hiko, his interpreter.